Thank you for joining me. While shoppers may have noticed some empty shelves in local grocery stores, truckers are warning you. You haven't seen anything yet. You are going to be seeing a lot more than a few empty shelves. They are warning the people that they're going to see a supply chain crisis that's going to be crippling. Thanks to mandatory vaccine passport rules being enforced on cross-border truckers, this Saturday, January 15th, hundreds of transport vehicles will not be picking up or delivering supplies each day. With 20% of drivers not vaccinated, you could see 6,000 trucks a day in Canada not coming across. That would add up to about 250 million pounds of food, parts, supplies, and goods not coming into the country. And then comes inflation. Currently, the cost of living in December, the rate of inflation in Canada is 4.7%. Much lower than it is here in the United States, which is 7%, they said, for December. But many of the businesses are expecting prices to rise maybe another 5 to 10%, mostly because of the increase in cost of goods, shortages of workers, etc. Just about everything we find in the markets, the stores, etc., has to be shipped at some point 100% of the time. And starting on Saturday, to enter Canada, drivers must be fully vaccinated and must have received their last dose at least 4 days before entering Canada. The Canadian government has set up the Arrive Can website and an app in which travelers into the country are required to enter their contact information, vaccination information, and more at least 72 hours before entering the country. Non-Canadian citizens who try to enter the country unvaccinated will be turned around, while unvaccinated Canadian citizens will be quarantined for 14 days before they're allowed to re-enter the country. For Canadian citizens who refuse to get the jab, they're going to impose a fine of up to about $100, is what they're talking about right now, for every adult who hasn't been vaccinated. And then I heard the age might be as low as 14 years old. While there is reportedly a modest uptick of drivers getting vaccinated, at some companies there are substantial reports of higher than normal turnover, and others declaring their intention to leave the industry or seek employment where vaccines are not required. The Canadian trucking industry is expected to lose between 12,000 and 16,000 cross-border truck drivers due to the mandate. That's about 10 to 15% of the drivers. In Quebec, the second most populous Canadian province, last month started to allow essential workers to continue working even if they tested positive for the COVID virus. That was because of the shortage of healthcare workers, nurses, doctors, etc. Canada imports from the United States a little over $22 billion in just food alone. And people already are complaining, just like here in the U.S., about the empty shelves. They're saying there in Canada to purchase a lazy boy chair, you may have to wait a year to get one. Furniture and appliances may be anywhere from 2 to 8 months wait to get. And they know that there's going to be more inflation. Like I said, some of the business owners are talking about 5 to 10%. And they're asking people not to hoard, to buy just a little bit at a time. Well, I have found from my own personal experience, buying in bulk is the greatest way to beat inflation. One of the articles I was reading saying that more than 2/3 of the $650 billion in goods traded annually there in Canada comes from the United States. Conservative MP Dean Allison wrote to the transportation minister warning that the vaccine mandate will exacerbate driver shortage and drive up the prices of goods imported from the United States. He's warning people to be prepared for empty shelves. Another thing that will be in short supply, according to one of the Canadian news sites, will be appliances. People could be waiting from 2 to 8 months just to get their appliances. There'll also be a shortage of cars and trucks because of the microchips. And it won't just be a shortage in home appliances, such as your coffee makers, your blenders, etc., microwaves. But there'll be a shortage in video games, toys, different types of electronics. I think of the flat screen TVs, and here we're still waiting to get the PlayStation 5, and a lot of the games that were supposed to come out last year still haven't been released. Construction supplies evidently are short. It says here you're looking at various types of insulation pipes, electronics, controls, doors, windows, storm doors, and wait time up to 16 weeks. So I would expect these delays in goods to extend even longer. And I would be stocking up if you know you got a job in the future. Yeah, I'd be buying it now if you can find it in the stores, instead of paying higher prices later down the road. What are your thoughts? Please put those comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Please stay safe, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.